Okay, so the Nintendo Switch Lite was just announced, and it's quite tantalizing. 3 different cool colors, a lower price point, smaller form factor. It's the perfect way to play this fall's lineup on the go. But there's some things you need to know about this system. Some read between the lines, fine print details that are important before you slap down that pre-order money, before you get too attached to that turquoise.
Zach, I'm already quite attached to the turquoise. I want it in my life. I want new satin turquoise sheets for my bed. I'm all about it.
Bath towels, slippers.
Yeah, for sure.
Goodness gracious. You are hooked, but here are the facts you gotta be aware of. First, there is zero connectivity to the TV. Not only does this not come with a dock, there is no way to dock it. You will never play this as a home console.
This has been surprising to a lot of people. A lot of people feel a type of way that it's still called a Switch when it doesn't do a whole lot of switching. For me, I don't find it to be like as upsetting as some people do, but I definitely see where you're coming from with that.
Following up on that, if you're an aspiring YouTuber, someone that likes to capture content, there is no easy way to make that happen. Your Elgatos and your game capture cards will not be able to plug in anywhere because it just doesn't have those ports.
Yeah, HDMI is required for all of those game capture needs, and this just doesn't have it. This is meant to be more like your Nintendo 3DS, and yeah, maybe we get some aftermarket solutions at some point, but from the get-go, it's not going to be easy. So if you do want to make some YouTube videos, this is not going to be the console for you.
While it will share the same library, it's going to take some extra work for certain titles. If you want to play something that doesn't allow handheld mode, you will need extra controllers. So yeah, it can utilize the entire library, and they do recommend you pay attention to that handheld mode icon, but it's important to note that for certain titles, you will need to be spending a whole lot of extra cash.
Those Joy-Con do not come cheap, Zach, so yes, the price of this is a little bit lower than the standard Switch, but if you do want to have some experiences, Super Mario Party and things like that, you're still going to have to pony up some bucks in order to make it happen.
The Switch Lite takes advantage of the Switch's library, but certain games are going to take extra work and extra dollars. Nintendo has said to keep an eye out for the handheld mode icon, but other games are playable as long as you're willing to front the cost.
Of course, you are saving $100 by getting the Lite instead of the regular Switch, and maybe you take that money and you get yourself a pair of Joy-Con if you want to have a Mario Party the way that we have.
Yes, indeed. And while we know the Switch Lite isn't intended as a true local multiplayer console, it's still possible, but a bit harder. Also, because there's no kickstand. They have removed the ability for this Switch to stand on its own.
Alternatively, if you already have accessories that let you just prop up the Switch in whatever fashion, those still should work as long as there's no connector at the bottom of them. So any ones that you have picked up along the way should be totally fine, and I would imagine that manufacturers are going to start making some new ones for this anyways.
Or just get your little brother to hold it up there for you as you play. I'm sad they removed the kickstand. I think that's such a cool little extra. But they're also removing the extra rumble, or rumble in general, because this handheld has no HD rumble, and hands-on reports have said that it's a little eerie to play games like Mario Kart 8 Deluxe and Super Mario Odyssey without any of that feedback.
When you're so used to playing these games with rumble, you're definitely going to miss it at first, but I feel like you are going to get used to it as time goes on, but that's definitely something that you need to keep in mind when you go in to purchase.
While they haven't detailed the specifics of the process, Nintendo has confirmed there will indeed be a transfer solution once the Switch Lite launches. So if you intend to migrate over from a launch Switch to the new model, it will be possible.
Ideally, they just let us share our account between both models. That's the dream. I want to be able to just take the lighter one on my travels and have mine at home without having to do any weird cumbersome transfer process every single time. So please, Doug Bowser, make it happen. I beg you.
Last but not least, if you worried that all these restrictions would somehow limit this system's multiplayer capabilities, fear not, because the Switch Lite can still do all the ad hoc and online multiplayer your heart desires.
I feel like the price is super important here because every sibling can have one, all of your friends can have one, and sitting there playing Mario Kart together becomes that much more easier because they are that much more accessible.
So before you pre-order, consider these details. Make sure you're aware of exactly what the Switch Lite can and cannot do. Let us know your take in the comments down below, and if you still want to grab one of these guys, or if these restrictions have changed your mind. For now though, thanks so much for watching everybody. Hit that like button if you enjoyed the video. For myself and Gabe, SwitchForce out.